Hello, everyone, and welcome to live lesson for Wednesday, February 21st. I'm going to get started. Oh, sorry, guys. Hang on. Lost me. There we go. I'm going to get started right away in regards to essay feedback. So today we have our essay feedback templates that are due, not the whole essay, just the templates were due. And that was more so to help you guys out before the final product was due, which is going to be on Monday. And it was just a way to kind of get some guidance and some direction before you're completing your final piece. So I had a good handful of students handed in already by midday, which is great. And I've gave as much feedback as I can. If you require more feedback or any further questions, please let me know. Happy to go back and forth with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch my screens. Hang on 1 second. Takes a second. Sorry, guys. Perfect. Okay. So here's our course. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop right into content. Going to go right into our Power to Communicate essay writing lesson. And I want to go through a couple of things with you. So really important in understanding the idea of essay writing. In this case, we are creating something that is going to be persuasive. So the idea in regards to how you structure your essay, it is you have to keep in mind at all times that you are going to, in 5 paragraphs, create a position, something or a topic, something you feel passionate about, and you are in fact going to persuade your audience to agree with you. Okay? That's the idea of what you're trying to create. So you do that with an introduction. You have your 3 body paragraphs, and then, of course, you're going to have your conclusion. I've included a little video on how to create an effective paragraph writing essay that I think will be helpful to you. We also have some examples as well as some graphic organizers to kind of help you with this. And then what I want to draw your attention to, it's the online graphic organizer that is in fact due today. And I'm going to pull this up right now. If it's going to let me, which I'm hoping that it does. There we go. I'm going to go right to print blank map. I think for the sake of time, I'm just going to pull it up. It wouldn't let me save a template prior to. I do apologize for that. So it's going to take me to my print preview page, which at this point I'm okay with. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Perfect. This is what I want to draw your attention to very specifically. You're going to have an introduction. Specifically, you are going to state your thesis. It is the idea that you are going to have a very clear position, a very clear topic about what it is you're trying to prove. And this is what students have been handing in to me today and what I've been providing feedback. So if you say something as generic as cats make the best pets, it is a clear, direct statement, one that a person could disagree with or not agree with, and that is perfectly okay. It is a clear statement. Then you have to provide 3 specific reasons as to why cats make for the best pets. So they are cuddly, they are loyal, they self-care in regards to upkeep and cleaning. Those are my 3 points about why cats make the absolute best pets. Then, from each point, you are in fact going to go into your facts and your examples. Now, because we're creating a persuasive essay, and you can in fact do a little bit of research here in order to strengthen your position, remember that you can pull from websites as long as it is done so in proper format. You can pull from interviews, you can pull from personal experiences, anything that is tangible in regards to examples that people can connect and relate to. That's where this goes. That's where the facts and examples come into play. Okay, so this is where we're going to be very specific in our facts and examples. Again, always remember, what is it we are trying to prove? What are we trying to make our audience, or excuse me, persuade our audience into thinking the way that we think or feel about this topic? So it's persuasive, and we are using things, I mean, our past skills such as ethos, logos, pathos, the idea of technique in media. So, all of these sort of skills and building blocks that we've established previously is kind of leading us into this point as well. Now, the next thing I would like to draw your attention to, so I was being very specific into the essay writing structure in regards to that template, the idea of purpose and audience, the idea of tactics used to persuade and convince an audience a certain way. Now, if in the event you choose to do a more traditional structured essay, that's fine. But for some of you, I know you may take interest in creating what is called a rant. So, interestingly enough, and what's important to know is that an essay and a rant, in fact, have quite similar characteristics. You have a topic, it needs to be clear, it needs to be concise. From there, you have your specific evidence, your specific facts and examples. The difference is one is going to be a verbalization and one is going to be a written text. But in fact, the structure of both can in fact be very, very, very similar in nature and in characteristics. A great example of someone who uses rants quite regularly and effectively is Rick Mercer. So, a Canadian journalist, comedic in his own right by many. Some love him, some hate him, but nonetheless, I mean, Rick Mercer has definitely perfected the way we understand ranting. So, I have excuse me, my goodness, Rick's rant on Donald Trump. I'm gonna actually take a couple of these videos. I'm gonna embed them right into the lesson because I think they're gonna be quite beneficial for you. For those that do, in fact, choose to create a rant, he is a great example of ranting. Or if you do choose your essay structure, it might just be interesting to have a look at some of the rants created by Rick Mercer, just to get a sense of sort of how it's created. Because again, skills from both applications can definitely be applicable to each other. Donald Trump's Rick Mercer is definitely something I'd recommend. He's done, oh my goodness, he has done so many of them. Bullying is a really effective rant as well. Like I said, I'm going to take a couple of these. I'm going to embed them right in the lesson right after this. And I'm going to switch screens right now. There we go. So, again, this was just a really brief sort of breakdown in regards to remembering when we're creating our essays or our rants, what are we keeping in mind? Our audience, what we've been talking about this whole time, purpose, audience, tone. Then we're going into the idea of ethos, pathos, logos. How are you going to persuade your audience to agree with your position? Are you going to use some logic? Are you going to use some emotion? Are you going to use all of it? Um, it's just tactics of which we use and which we are now familiar with in media that are being used on us to, in fact, persuade us to feel a certain way, think a certain way, and it's how effective we do that. So, for those that can get in that feedback template to me today, I will give you as much feedback as I possibly can, and I'm going to embed those YouTube videos from Rick Mercer in regards to ranting. I recommend taking a look at that, regardless of the medium you choose to end up creating for this task. So the essays are in fact due on Monday, and the templates are due in fact today. And then in hopes that it gives you a little bit of time to put some really good thought into creating a really, really good paper or a really, really good rant. So I'm going to end there because I don't want to ramble too much. If you guys have any questions, if you need any further help, please, please let me know. Otherwise, happy working and we'll talk soon.